This is Japan's robot cafe where your waiters are robots. And this is Japan's most luxurious train with a 2-story suite room, wooden bath, and world-class chefs preparing your meals. And these are just some of the amazing things I'm gonna show you today. But even though they're mind-blowing to the rest of the world, they are quite normal for us Japanese. So let's start with these robot cafes. Dawn Avatar Robot Cafe version beta might just be the future of restaurants. This place is staffed by special robots that will greet you, take your order, and deliver your meals to your table. But this cafe isn't just a cheap gimmick. It actually gives people who can't work because of physical disabilities a chance. The robots are controlled by a remote worker called a pilot. These pilots are working from different places around Japan, and some of them face certain challenges that would make it difficult or impossible for them to do such a physical job. The pilots use an iPad to see and talk to the customers and control their movement.
アプリで働く前はめっちゃ絵なのでいろんな社会でやりたいとかすごい不安だったんですけど実際お客さんと接客していろんな方に喜んでもらえたのですごい自信がつきました。
First thing I saw was a robot. That robot sounds like human. What was his name? Jimmy? Tony? Jimmy?
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Harry.
In very, very good English, he created that he's a staff here and then he has some physical disabilities. So he's serving us from his home. And on the table, there was another little cute robot. Another girl who's doing this job from her home.
My name is Haki. Nice to meet you.
Waiter staff in Japan just give you your order and just leave. But I never ever had such an interesting, nice, warm, welcoming interaction with a wait staff in Japan. Their motto is to solve humanity's loneliness. I think it's true. Not only the person who are behind the robot, but also customers never feel lonely there. Different bigger robot brought the water like can you do that? Can you serve us? The floor was super flat for the robot to bring the water, but also people who have some disabilities can come to the restaurant with wheelchair or with cane. I think Dawn Cafe actually shows the future of some of Japanese restaurants. Not only restaurants, but a lot of services in public. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry if it sounds very rude or weird, but I'll try my best. People who has disabilities, I personally think they are forgotten in the society. But giving those people opportunity to work and come back to society means a lot. Not only for them, means a lot to us too. But this cafe is just a small look into Japan's tech-obsessed society. There's even a hotel that has robot helpers called Henna Hoteru, which translates to weird hotel. When you walk in, you are greeted by robot staff, and all your interactions are done by touchscreen. Of course, there are actual humans working in the hotel, but maybe in the future there will be an actual hotel run completely by robots. Of course, we still have a long way to go before robots actually take over humans. There are many things that we can do that robots still can't, like singing. In fact, some years ago, a researcher from Waseda University built a robot mouth that could remember words and sounds humans speak into a microphone and recreate them. But I think it's safe to say that it will be many more years before it gets to even close to real human. If it might have other usages though.
Thank you so much for testing our device. What do you think of it?
Doc, it's amazing. I think it's gonna change the world.
That's great.
Seriously, Doc, this thing feels amazing.
What?
No joke, this can replace my girlfriend.
All of these things are super cool, but why are these robots considered to be normal in Japan? Well, we've always been obsessed with robots.
Yeah,
You can say that again. There's a giant statue of Gundam robot outside of this shopping center in Tokyo. And just a few years ago, these robots called Pepper were all over Japan. Even a Nintendo Famicom came with a little robot that helped you to play certain games. But did you know Japan has had robots since the 17th century? This is called karakuri ningyo or mechanical doll. These were basically the very first robots that were able to do simple tasks like write or even shoot an arrow.
能力で作られていることに改めて驚きます。
These were all handmade dolls using wooden gears to control different aspects of their movements and were mainly used for entertainment. When you look at these dolls that were made over 200 years ago, you can't help but see the similarities to today's modern robots. But robots are just one of the Japanese mind-blowing things that are normal for us. Another thing that is amazing is just how safe Japan is. But before I talk about Japan's safety, I do think it's important to take your personal safety seriously. When I see some weird freak walking towards me, I cross the street. Also, I never connect to suspicious Wi-Fi and always try to protect my online security. And thanks to today's sponsor, NordVPN, I can do it. Not only does it keep me safe, I can connect to any NordVPN server around the world and get access to cheaper deals when I'm buying things online. For example, I can use Nord to get cheaper prices on YouTube Premium subscriptions too. It costs $11.99 a month in the US, but I just connect to a Nord server in Argentina and pay $246 a month. So I can stay safe and save money at the same time. And you can save big on a NordVPN subscription by using my special discount link in the description below. So thank you NordVPN for keeping me safe and saving me money. And speaking of safety, Tokyo is one of the largest cities in the world with a population of 13.96 million people. That's 150% more people than New York City's 8.4 million. But the really unbelievable part is that even though it has so much population, it's one of the safest cities in the world. In all of 2022, the number of major crime cases in Tokyo was 9,536. New York City reported 10,164 major crime cases in just December of 2022 alone. But it's also surprising that Tokyo and the rest of Japan can be so unbelievably safe. A lot of this has to do with how we taught to be good people when we are children. I talked all about how some Japanese festivals are designed to scare the poop out of the kids so that they learn behave in this video. But Japan has a strong culture to make sure children are raised to understand right from wrong, not only from our parents and family, but also our schools and the society around us. One example of Japanese people doing the right thing is when someone drops something on the street. Oftentimes nobody takes it because we know that it isn't the right things to do. And other times, some very nice person will bring the item to the police station. Mr. H dropped his wallet. And the next day, I went to the police station and I reported, and the officer said, yes, we got the similar wallet. Really? Somebody else took the wallet and then brought it to the police station. When I opened the wallet, everything was there. Wow, so lucky, huh? Yes, Japan is high trust society and many people practice doing the right thing when they can. Of course, there are many countries around the world where that's also true, but are they really at the same level of Japan?
Look at how smart this gate is. If you try to step out without paying, oh, it stops you. So many things in Japan happen on the honor system which would just not work in New York City, where I'm from. Like, people jump over to get in, getting out, no problem.
That is like a Japanese gangsters would do it. But it's very, very super rare, super duper rare to see those people to do that. And as he said, Japan is heavily rely on the honor system. I think it's true too. Japan is a very small country, you know. We have to kind of trust each other. Kids are also super safe in Japan. It's so normal for me to see kids going to school by themselves themselves on public transportation. I've heard that it's pretty rare for this kind of things happen in many parts of the US and Canada. So when I go to work, I sometimes take a really early train, like 6:30. Every Thursday, I see like 7-year-old schoolgirl get on the train and then go all the way to the busy city. And it was very normal. Safety is definitely one of the best reasons to live in Japan. But I think this next one is the second best reason to be here. We Japanese use trains so much that sometimes we forget just how special they are. I definitely realized when I rode a train in the US. The New York subway was loud. Everybody was talking at the same time. But one guy came and then started playing music from his phone. Wow, could it be louder? If he did it in Japan, everybody would give him a very cold gaze, or people probably try to avoid him. But no, nobody was like that. Even some of them were like starting to like, hey, I love this song. New York subway was very big and complicated, so we got lost and we were like, oh, Japan, which way should we go? And there was a lady, she was very rushing, but she turned and came back to me. Are you lost? Where do you want to go? New York. New York. That way. Thank you! Thank you! Even though she was rushing so much, she came back to us and then gave us direction. Thank you. I will do the same thing when you come to Japan. Of course, America is a car country, so you can't go anywhere without one. But in Japan, no car, no problem. And that's because the country is so well connected and you can get to almost anywhere in Japan by train. But we also have many unique trains too. Look at this one. The Pokemon train! The train is completely Pikachu themed, and there's even a Pikachu playroom where you can wear Pikachu ears and a tail and even ride a giant Pikachu. Seriously, how many other countries in the world would go all out on the train like this? Or how about upgrading to the Grand Class experience? This red train is a luxurious experience with a beautiful interior, reclining seats, and even a meal and all-you-can-drink alcohol service on board. I actually had the chance to ride this train and I thought it was luxurious hotel lounge on wheels. Seats are very wide. The seat reclines and the leg lift up. Super comfortable. We were served with this nice small bento box, beautifully made local food. So good. And they even gave us some nice sweets too. Not only we enjoy the scenery, but also we enjoy the food. All the drinks are all you can drink. I don't drink alcohol, but I really enjoy the green tea, water, apple juice. But for the most deluxe and lavish train experience, the Shikishima might be the fanciest train in the world. One ticket will cost you about $10,000, but you get amazing panoramic views, meals prepared by professional chefs, all-you-can-drink cocktails and alcohol, and even live musical performances. And since this is a sleeper train, you have a bed and a shower on board. But for many non-Japanese, the regular trains are very pleasant to ride. Japanese trains and train culture really is amazing when you think about it. Something else that blows people's mind is just how weird Japan can be sometimes. As I mentioned earlier, there are festivals where demons run around and scare children to make them behave. I know a lot of non-Japanese are shocked by this, and I talk all about it in this video. So check it out. Thanks for watching. Okini!